boys and girls. Welcome to the ESR third speed round one. We go too fast for vowels around here. We are on the Shadow Realm track, I believe.
Guillermo, that is not the track.
Sorry, what?
I said, Guillermo, that is not the track as he explores the desert.
So, yeah, we're coming to you live from the Shadow Realm, which is located in Shadaloo City. And I am very attractive. With me, as always, is Dave. No, Dave's. That's not right.
Dave's not here, man.
It's Mr. Maggle himself.
It is. It is.
Welcome
to Laguna Seca. Welcome to Laguna Seca, the opening round of the spring series for 3D Speed. First up, I want to issue an apology to Robert Arzumian. I have your flag is incorrect on the entry list. It is a Polish flag. It's supposed to be an Armenian flag. I do apologize. So we'll check. We'll have a look at that in more detail, I guess, before the next round. Get that all set up properly. And once again, I curse the basically every like quirky way that ACC does things. Basically,
you think he's a pirate? He's from Armenia.
Trevor Cheney coming to the line here to finish up what probably is his final lap, as he is currently shown in 23rd position, looking to move up in the ranks. Don't have a lap time there, so actually might be starting the final lap now. There we go. Best lap is a 1:24.438. We'll see if he can beat that. I would give us a rundown of the grid. Oh, come on. Show me who's at the top. I do know Matt Higgs is at the very top. I forget who's in second place. I want to say it's William Murrah. It's probably William Murrah. And we'll probably have to leave it at that.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, there we go. Matt Higgs, William Murrah, Jeff Wentworth, Dominic Turcotte, Justin Swan, Jake Keckley, Andrew Burke, Guillermo Martinez. Oh, Paul Rico Bene up into third place. Coming at the end there for the Lexus crew. So he is ahead of Wentworth. So it's Wentworth, Turcotte, Swan, Keckley, Burke, Martinez, David James in the top 10, representing the AM category, the Bronze Boys. Ahead of Dave Nelson, Andreas Lasudas, Guillermo Taylor, the aforementioned Robert Arzumian, who is actually a silver, not a bronze. So that'll be one inaccuracy on the timing table there. Ayrton Tobin, Jake Northrup, Cole McRae, Dan French, who ditto to Arzumian, is actually silver. Michael Magus. Then it is Seth Cheney, Benjamin Atamian, Matt Howell, Diego Alonso, Trevor Cheney, Zach Martin, Larry Foster, Rick Martell, Skylar Castor, and debuting driver Ruben Ciencio, which is a fun name to say.
Ruben the Sandwich Ciencio.
Ruben comes to us from Argentina. He is the fourth member of the Tango crew, which already, of course, included Juan Borge, Guillermo Taylor, and Benjamin Atamian. They've got a fourth now. And Tom Waz is actually going to bring up the rear. The return of Tom Waz. He's been a while since we've seen Tom Waz.
Return of the Waz. Clap, clap.
He's back, and he didn't come alone because he's the one that brought Arzumian and Dan French with him. So a nice little three-car dynamic Porsche team. As per usual, we got teams going on here. The team names are not necessarily what you're going to see on the screen because we don't enforce people having to use the team names, but we do try to link them all together to make it easier for the commentary crew. So, for example, Michael Magus is actually representing Tech 1 Racing, but other people may have slight changes as you can see the cars popping up and down as people join the grid. This is a GT3 series once again, so we got some of the cars that you're probably pretty familiar with by now. Lexuses, Mercedeses, Porsches, a single Audi, Aston Martin. We've got Lamborghini. Actually, we have no Lamborghinis. None whatsoever. Ferraris.
15 Koenigsegg's.
A bizarrely popular car this season is the McLaren 720S. Historically, it's not been that popular amongst DSR, but lately it's had this in vogue resurgence, and I'm not entirely sure I can explain it.
Bribery. I think everybody's getting paid $5 to race it.
It's not an especially good car. It's not a bad car either. It's a very stable one. Oh, we have lost Matt Higgs at the front. We believe we've discovered a glitch in the drive procedure. Or not. I don't know if I really want to call it a glitch. It seems like you don't have till 0 on the countdown to join the grid, which is a little bit weird. We will approach the line here on the short formation lap. Cole McRae, one of the Emile Frey Lexuses. Teammate Jake Northrup is there. They are down their third man, Mika Watt. He is absent today, but will be attending later on in the season, and we look forward to seeing Mika on the track. Bit of an uptake on Lexuses this season. We got 7 total signed up, 6 of them in attendance here today. Paul Riccobetti, the highest ranking one. And we will be heading green lights very shortly. And it is green, 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 green! And we are off at Laguna Seca. Heading down to turn 1 and then the Andretti hairpin. We got Cole McRae. I don't believe he's in 9th place, but I mean, maybe. Here we go. Oh, 4 wide in the Andretti hairpin. That's interesting, but everybody appears to have gotten through relatively cleanly. I did see one car kicking up dust, but that might have just been going wide. Into turn number 3 and 4. The double complex here. Looks like there's a gap forming in the grid, so I suspect we have had some kind of incident that has dropped a bunch of cars off the back end. Andreas Lasutis running in 11th place there for the GPX Racing team. His teammate Matt Higgs having to start from the pit lane.
Could the incident possibly have been a meteor strike?
Possibly. We are in the middle of the desert. That does seem to be where meteors often strike. Oh, some nudging going on there in front of our Zoomy, and that is Cole McRae nudging. Oh, there's a GPX Porsche backwards in the corkscrew, and an OTL Talksport off the track as well. So we do have some carnage. And I do believe, I will kind of let in on a spoiler here, we're going to get a restart. And it is going to cause a little bit of drama. And William Murrah, who's done a lot of hard work to get out in front, is going to have to do it all again. Paul Riccobetti, Dominic Turcotte, Jeff Wentworth, Andrew Burke in the mix as well. There is the restart, and we reform the grid. So we'll see if the second restart can clean up some things that the first restart brought. But of course, things can also get worse on a restart. And we have seen both happen in the history of ESR with the ACC game, since restarts were not really in vogue in Race Room. But interesting to see how they're implemented in ACC series.
I think we should restart everything. Because we just can't trust Matt to get these warm-up laps done.
I mean, we don't trust Matt to do a lot of things. I'm told Matt had a good result today, though, in the GT Challenge.
No, that's good.
So, have not watched it myself yet. That's on tap, basically. Well, that's on tap after the F1 race. I still have to catch up on that. No spoilers! Nah, spoilers!
Everybody's been downgraded to F0.
Oh, Captain Falcon.
Fuck on punch.
Falcon kick.
Oh, big old dick kick.
I don't know why they just didn't go all the way like Falcon shoulder barge. 30 seconds to the start. Drivers are now allowed to join the grid inside their cars. And you can see the cars coming down. That is a signal that the driver is in. or at least no longer looking at their setup.
I think that all drivers should have to sit on the hoods of their cars until the green light.
That would be odd.
And then a mad scramble to get in the car.
Actually, they do that, as you may know from the Ford v Ferrari movie.
I didn't specifically remember that, but I'm not shocked that it was something in the back of my mind that is probably true.
They do at Le Mans and other races do the sprint to the car, where the driver actually has to sprint in and get himself fastened in. It's an interesting and somewhat silly way of doing things. Dan French starting from the pit lane. He missed the call to join the grid. And we'll see if the number 32 car can make his way through the field. Mind you, there are some advantages to starting from the pit lane. Mostly safety. You're alone, and other people can't mess your race up.
That does make a lot of sense.
As we approach the line here with Matt Higgs leading the way.
Return of the Matt.
In fact, it is the return of the Matt because he has not raced in the Sunday series or in the Wednesday series in some time. All right, waiting for that green flag. Waiting for the green flag. And we are good to go here at Laguna Seca for the second time. We'll see if it happens. If we can get through the first bit of this race clean as they head towards Andretti hairpin. And you knew it. Both the two Mercedes are sideways on the track. One of the Ferraris is collected. A couple other cars are in trouble there. Whoa, one of the Mercedes is completely going cross-country across the sand there. Interesting tactic. At the front, Matt Higgs has remained in the lead. Paul Riccobetti in second. Dominic Turcotte is in third. Then it is rounding off the top five, Jake Keckley and Andrew Burke. One of the Lexuses going up the inside there. I think that is David James. Overtaking one of the GPX Porsches, probably either Justin Swan or Andreas Lasutis. Sorry, we have not quite pieced together which GPX Porsche is who at this stage of the season.
What? You've had at least 2 minutes now. What's wrong?
Rick Martel in the pit lane, so something bad happened to the Tech 1 Lexus. The one of the bronze Tech 1 Lexuses this season. And Higgs continues to lead by 1.3 seconds ahead of Paul Riccobetti. Dominic Turcotte all over the back end to him. And then it is Burke, Keckley, Nelson, Taylor up in 7th place. Very nice. William Murrah, David James, and Justin Swan, your top 10, as Dominic Turcotte moves into 2nd place there for the Angry Panda Mercedes team, which are running the Mad Panda livery. I'm not really sure why they just didn't go with Mad Panda as a team. But that team consists of, one of the OTL Talksports is in the grass still. It's either Ayrton Tobin or that is Jeff Wentworth.
I just think it's amazing that David James can take time out to race when he's got all those sitcoms to do.
And soccer. Justin Swan battling with fellow Porsche, the Dynamics Porsche of Robert Arzumian. I have a hard time with that name, and I don't know why. Swan representing the GPX team. He has the slightly green GPX Porsche, the Golf color scheme with the that was a Lexus off in the background. I believe that was David James.
I like green. I love
Michael
Golf
Magus
oil,
losing a spot there to Seth Cheney.
Seth Petrozelli.
By the way, that's Tom Waz up in 15th place, having started 30th. He is having a fantastic day. There is a 1 pit stop mandatory in this particular race. That's new to 3D Speed this season. It has previously been a sprint race. Now it is a pit stop race. Still more or less sprint in length, though, 40 minutes. Anything under an hour generally is considered to be or an hour and below, generally is considered to be a sprint race by GT standards.
Man, I can't sprint for that long. You think Usain Bolt's out there sprinting for an hour flat? I don't think so.
We got Northrup, Cheney, Magus, Alonso, and Waz. That's the quintet of cars that we are looking at here. Although Northrop has wiggled his way a little bit free of this group. He's in the Emile Frey Lexus up ahead. We got a yellow flag somewhere. Somebody is off the track. Right at the side there. That is an OTL Mercedes rejoining. That is either Jeff Wentworth or Ayrton Tobin. Ruben Ciencio loses 17th place to Zach Martin. And also, loses a spot to Cole McRae, and now is losing a spot to Zach Martin. As well as Dan French! Or no, that's Arzumian. Bouncing his way through like a pinball machine. Wow. Also, the mix there is Trevor Chaney. Another guy who's having a pretty good race is Ruben Ciencio. Started 29th. He's up to 19th, so not quite as good a run as Tom Was, but still pretty damn good. Was is actually up a spot, having overtaken Diego Alonso for 14th place. Andrew Burke, reigning champion of the 3D Speed Series, running in 4th place. The lone Audi in the field.
I just think it's amazing that Ruben Sierra can take the time to race with us. That's pretty cool. Also, I apologize for any banging or bopping or knocking you hear in the background on my end. Somebody's been trying to knock up the... Okay, that came out wrong. Somebody's been trying to knock on the door upstairs and get people's attention, and I don't think they're home.
No.
They haven't been home all afternoon, I don't think. So
you'd think,
stop knocking on the door.
They would take a hint after a while. That's a really cool camera angle there through the corkscrew.
I do like it.
Andrew Burke once again running solo. No teammates for Andrew Burke.
I will be your spiritual teammate, Andrew.
The Mercedeses are doing quite well. 3 in the top 6. 2 representing Angry Panda, and the other one representing OTL Talksport. Tom Was. Okay, so Tom does have the right flag. I was worried that I'd got him and Arzumian's flags reversed, but it looks like I just gave them both the Polish flag. Zach Martin having a rough day. He just got promoted to ace driver this season, which is what we're calling people of gold and platinum rating. Picked up his gold rating this season. And his debut is not going so well, running in 21st place. Looks like we've lost air to Tobin and somebody else. Tobin in the pit lane, and I'm seeing we're down to 29 cars over the 30 that initially started. So, some problems and some people down a lap.
Tobin in the pit lane.
Looking at Benjamin Adamian and Rick Martel, who have had a bad day as one of the Tango Aston Martins rejoins. Paul Riccobeni under pressure from Andrew Burke. This is the champion of 2 seasons ago against the champion of last season. Kind of ironically, Burke has moved into Riccobeni's car from last season. And Riccobeni has moved back into his championship-winning Lexus as Guillermo Martinez goes for a spin in the Carbone's Ferrari.
He's been carboned.
Looks like he was. Looks like somebody got into his back, although we picked that up at a time when he was already kind of spinning, so I'm not sure who got him in that group. But spinning around and rejoining the track as Ayrton Tobin throws the towel in. Some damage to the front end of Martinez as well as the back end. We'll see if he can make his way through the field, as he is one of the upper level 3D speed drivers. Recently downgraded to silver. He would like to. Oh no! I think that car has perhaps more problems than we think, because a spin out at Rainy Curve is a bit unusual.
I think the main issue is that he's wearing the McDonald's livery, and it obviously got burger grease all over the tires.
Skylar Castor making his 3D speed debut there in the TF Sport Aston Martin, losing a spot there to Trevor Chaney as well as Larry Foster in the green McLaren Shadow Project car. And there's another McLaren Shadow Project car there of Matt Howell in the blue. Oh! Larry got a bit too much of the curb. Off the track he goes. Jake Keckley on board. It's been a bad day for OTL Talksport. They've lost 2 cars, and Trevor Cheney is not having the greatest of days, but Keckley is running solidly in 5th place.
He would be the top Keck then.
He is top Keck. Looks like Paul Riccobeni's gotten away a little bit and is back up pestering Dominic Turcotte for 2nd place in the battle with the Mad Panda. By the way, Matt Higgs at watch 11 seconds ahead. He might be gone.
That's a hefty lead.
We're only a quarter through the race. Not even a quarter, but approaching a quarter.
See, what you need to do, Matt, if you want to get on camera, is get right behind whoever's in last place and stay really, really close to him so that the camera's like, wow, there must be a battle. Let's go check that out.
Yeah, it's not actually smart enough to figure out the blue flags, which is a little disappointing. Looking down the order to see if anyone else is on the charge right now, but no, things are relatively settled. A couple of battles going on. Alonso's gotten back past Tom Waz. Andreas Lasutis is back in the top 10. So some things going on, but nothing major at the moment. Looks like Justin Swan's got up into 7th place. So he's displaced Guillermo Taylor. So that's 2 GPX Porsches in the top 10. And actually, all 3 of them are in the top 10. So GPX having a really good day because Lasutis is their 3rd car. A team suffering a blow pretty late in the preseason when they were supposed to run a 4th car for Rob Stewart. But Stewart abandoned the Porsche for the more, we'll call it friendly, Mercedes, and is actually the 4th car for Mad Panda, or Angry Panda now.
Were they even angrier than before?
Well, they got an extra guy to be angry.
Triple the anger, double the fun.
True. David James having a bit of a bad day. Started at the top 10, currently running in 19th place ahead of Skylar Castor. He's trying to catch up with the battle between Trevor Cheney and Matt Howell. There's a booming Bronze Cup this season. So if you're a slower driver thinking about joining 3D Speed, wondering if there are people to compete with, the answer is definitively there are. We got a lot of bronze entries. You can see all the red number plates. Those are the bronzes. Andres Lasutis, Seth Cheney, Tom Waz, Trevor Cheney, Matt Howell, David James, Skylar Castor, Ruben Ciencio, Diego Alonso, who, by the way, Alonso must have made a mistake because he's fallen way back. Cole McRae's in the pit lane. I don't think the pit window is open, so that is an unscheduled pit stop for him as well as Guillermo Martinez.
You think Andreas can sing?
Maybe.
You should definitely see if you can hook up with the Icelandic music scene and then could possibly release an album. Locutus and Bork. Björk. It's actually funnier to pronounce Björk's name correctly, because it sounds like the Swedish chef.
It does.
Björk.
It's definitively true. Michael Magus up to 12th place, running ahead of Seth Cheney. That is behind them is another Tech 1 car. I think that's the lapped car of Rick Martel. So that is a car not involved in the battle. Dominic Turcotte still running in a solid 2nd place ahead of, speaking of Tech 1, their leader, Paul Riccobeni, in 3rd place.
Tech 1 too.
And in the background there, you can still see Keckley, who's gotten past Andrew Burke. The reigning champ having a bit of a difficult day with the new car. Qualified, by his standards, rather poorly. And had been running fairly well, but to see him run out of pace without getting to the podium, very strange.
We will prescribe listening to Nothing Gonna Break My Stride for 10 hours straight, just to make sure you don't run out of pace.
I mean, that does feel like a good game that would good song that would definitely assist you in becoming very,
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Ain't nothing gonna
very
slow
mental.
me down except the guy with the blue flag.
There is one of your favorite liveries, Mr. Byron, the Mad Panda.
Good old pissed off marsupial.
We got 4 of those in the grid this season. Although I think only 3 today, because I don't think Rob Stewart was in attendance.
Roberto.
But we do have William Murrah, the original Mad Panda, Dominic Turcotte, and Dave Brock. Actually, I think there's only 2 today, because Dave Brock also not here, but Dave Brock and Rob Stewart with that team. Interesting team, double pro car, double bronze car. It'll be really interesting to see what they can do if the pros can raise the game of Rob Stewart and David Brock.
Not the game. Not the game that I drive for.
That is Tom Waz of the green Porsche up ahead. I think he's falling back quite rapidly, judging by who he's battling with. Is Benjamin Atimien loses a pair of spots there to. Nope, he's just lapped. Never mind. I was assuming that Benjamin Atimien was higher in the order than I thought he was. Him and Rick Martel are the 2 lapped cars. I forgot that. Justin Swan has gotten up into 6th place, having overtaken William Murrah. Mercedes versus Porsche, classic German battle. Gotta feel like the GPX team is looking really, really strong right now. 1, 6, and 11 in the order. And they've got to be the early favorites here to take home some serious bragging rights, because I mean they've got the ultimate bronze driver, Andreas Lasudis, who is capable of silver pace at any time, and just has to bring it. William Murrah dives into the pit lane, and it looks like we've lost Paul Riccobene. He has disappeared from my timing chart there, and the pit stops begin, and we'll see where they shake out, and we'll make the final run towards the end as a yellow flag does come out briefly. We are on board with Seth Cheney. He is running the reigning teams champion Get Speed Performance, yellow Mercedes. When you see
Were they selling meth?
No, they're selling speed. Just the literal concept of velocity.
Neat. You put it in a bottle.
Larry Foster up to 14th place, but that is involving a couple of pit stops. Skylar Castor in the pits, Matt Howell in the pits, Zach Martin in the pits, David James in the pits. So a number of early pit stops here in the 10-minute window. The window will close with 15 minutes to go. Andrew Burke in this time around.
The pit window will be 5 minutes after the race starts, all the way up to 5 minutes before the race ends.
That is how a pit window would work. Not this particular pit window. It's not that long. But if the pit window was 30 minutes, that's exactly how it would work. See, Byron's learning things.
I thought it would be funny if you did it that way. So anybody really, really screwed couldn't get in the pit early enough, and anybody who's not smart enough to pit was like, oh, wait, I should have... penalty.
I feel like only Max Simmons might fuck that up.
That's very possible.
He does have a tendency to flirt with disaster when it comes to the pit window.
I've been winning the race and I'm flirting with your sister. Oh, that's not right.
We do have a number of new guys to the field, so we'll be watching to see if they make their pit stops. They're the ones who, you know, first league race, trying to make a good impression. Things might get forgotten, and we'll find out. But a couple of those have made their pit stop, including Skylar Castor, Ruben Ciencio, Dan French. All have been in.
Ciencio Music Factory. I got the power.
Jake Northrup on the tail of Dave Nelson, the leader of the Shadow Project, and the leader of the Emil Frey team.
The Shadow Zone. Is that them there purple cars?
No, the Shadow Zones are the black cars with the the checker pattern on their backs.
No,
this case,
it's not
yellow.
very shadowy. It's literally
Well,
either black
it can
or
be.
white.
It can be. They can be black and white. It's just none of them pick that. That car is actually interesting in the sense that it's the closest thing you can get to a custom livery without being a custom livery, because it's a single car in the game, but you can actually change the color of the checkered pattern on the back. There's a Lamborghini called Lightning Squadro Corsa, which is the same kind of idea. It's like 8 cars in one sort of deal. It's kind of interesting.
Lamborghini Quattroporte. I think somebody needs to see the patent office on that one.
Ooh, well, we have our first person who's offended the pit lane regulations, Trevor Cheney, with a stop-go penalty, I imagine, for speeding in the pit lane. Matt
Please
Higgs.
cue the playing of Chain of Fools.
Matt Higgs working his way through the lower down guys who haven't pitted yet, because he is also not pitted. Coming up to Tom Waz. Oh no, that is a sideways Tango Aston Martin. He did a good job of not making that a huge incident as Tom Waz gets out of the way of brand mate Matt Higgs. Will Matt Higgs be able to take a title for the first time in his ESR career?
No.
We'll
Probably.
find out.
I don't know. Probably, yeah. He's 20 minutes ahead. He'll win.
Well, 19 seconds, but yeah, about 20 seconds. Yeah. But dominating the proceedings today. But can he do it 6 more times? It's coming up to one of the Shadow Project McLarens. I think that one is Dave Nelson.
Little Higgs, let me in.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. No, that is Zach Martin. Pardon me. There's a yellow and a slightly less yellow Shadow Project. You get one of you needs to change colors. This is gonna help me a lot. You got 8 colors to choose from, and 2 of you pick yellow. North Rub, Seth Cheney, Mike Magus all hitting the pit lane. That is Rick Martel, I do believe, getting lapped. Bad day for Rick Martel, but he is trying to work his way through the field, doing this super long run here.
He's just trying to do it the most attractive way possible, that's all.
Little under 4 minutes to go here in the pit window. We ride with Dan French in his debut in the Dynamics Motorsports Porsche. And he's having a pretty good run. He's in 15th place with a couple of cars that haven't pitted ahead of him. Might be able to parlay this into something fairly decent. Andreas Lasudis up ahead of him is about 6 seconds ahead, and Andreas was battling for a top 10. So it'll be interesting to see where Dan French comes out in the wash here as he works through the pit lane right now. Turcotte and Arzubian into the pits. Still waiting on Tom Waz, Diego Alonso. Matt Higgs is in the pits. So the race leader is in. We'll see where he comes out.
The other side of the pits, I think.
Well, I mean, positionally speaking.
Oh, 93rd.
He'll come out probably in the lead, because it is showing about a 46-second gap back to Guillermo Taylor. So I think he'll come out in the lead still, but it'll be interesting to see what that gap is. To Dave Nelson. Or pardon me, really Turcotte is the guy he's competing with. Waz in the pit lane, Alonso in the pit lane, Martel in the pit lane. Skylar Caster battling with... Never mind, that's Dominic Turcotte lapping him. No fight here. Not really anything to see here. I like that car. It's interesting. Interesting that no champion has taken the right to the number 1 yet in the history of 3D Speed.
Just me.
Well, you're number 1 in the program, number 1 in our hearts, number 1 on the commentary bill.
Number 1 to open his mouth when recording starts.
Yep.
Check out the size of the tech rack on that one.
And that is one of the British download or DLC cars. I think that might actually be the only British DLC car in this particular race. Actually, I don't think anyone else went that route.
What you need to do is get yourself one of them Welsh supercars because they are the tits.
Andrew Burke lost a fair amount of time in behind there, but it looks like Burke has parlayed his way up onto the podium right now because he is in 4th place, and race leader Dave Nelson still has to pit and will tumble through the order.
It's your boy Maggle Magus.
Mike Magus in the number 8 car.
Livery, very nice.
I thought you'd like that one. Number 8 car battling with Andreas Lasudis, the number 20 GPX Porsche.
You're about to be assimilated.
Tech 1 versus GPX. We'll see what happens here as Dave Nelson does hit the pit lane and Matt Higgs retains the lead. Or moves back into the lead, I should say.
So you keep talking about the OTL. Here in my hometown, we have a thing that runs almost every winter. Not this one, you might notice, but it's called OTL softball, and OTL standing for over the line.
Okay,
or
gotcha.
It's OTL snowball, and I've never played it. I've never watched a game. I don't know what the rules are, but all I know is they play basically what I understand is it's softball, but in the winter. So I should probably have looked up anything to do with the rules so I could talk more about it rather than just mentioning that it does happen.
I mean, I feel like if people want to look up the rules, they can do that.
Yeah, probably. And I don't know if anybody else plays it. I have no idea if it's a widespread phenomenon or if it's just something we strictly do here in town. So whenever you say OTL, I'm like, ding! I know, kind of vaguely aware of what that is. Oh, you're talking about something completely different.
I mean, I kind of assume OTL Talksport is over the line. Is what the OTL stands
One
for.
talk over the line, my do over the line.
We would have to ask one of your favorite people in the world, Mr. Jeff Whitworth.
Whitworth!
Oop, Andreas Lasudis losing his sense of direction there for a moment. And explores a little bit of the sand. Takes the pressure off Mike Magus, who runs in 10th place. Bad qualifying effort for Magus. He started something like 19th place up to 10th, so he's had a pretty good race, despite the fact that the qualifying was not great.
That young qualifying kid, Michael Magus.
Good to see Seth Chaney running in the top 10. That's he's been putting in a lot of good efforts lately. As Benjamin Adamian getting out of the way of some people here. Getting blue flag. David James would like through, sir. As David James trying to hunt down Skylar Castor in the Aston Martin.
I do think it's awesome that David James can take his time out of his busy musical career and race with us. That's fantastic. Big fan of his song, Super Freak.
Cole McRae in the mix there as well. He is lapped, I do believe. Guillermo Taylor having a very solid day for the Tango R Motorsports crew, up in 7th place. Doing good. And Tom Waz, again, started dead last. Running in 15th place. Or, well, apparently 16th. I think we're going to get a timing update. Yep, there it is. His teammate Arzumian has made his way through. By the way, for a last-minute assembled team, which is what Dynamic Porsche is, 12th, 15th, and 16th. They have all three of their cars still running. They have them all in the top 20. So, going to be a pretty decent haul of points for them. Dominic Turcotte, 2nd place by a long ways. We'll get a gap for you shortly, but I believe he is quite a ways behind race leader Matt Higgs. Benjamin Adamian bringing up the rear today of the running cars in 25th place. And Jake Northrup rounding in the top 5 still. Or now. So Jake Northrup is the big winner of the pit stops. He was down around 9th, 10th place. He's up to 5th now. Having a fantastic day. The big loser in this regard would feel like William Murrah, who's down to 8th place. Feels like he really... You would picture him being a fair bit higher up as Rick Martel continues to soldier on. Michael Magus with a pretty good lap there. 24.993. His best lap is a 24.861. So doing pretty much his best laps of the race right now. Not particularly competitive compared to Mr. Dominic Turcotte, who just does a 23.427. And his fastest lap a 22.953. So that is the pace difference we're talking about. But you know what? Magus has found his way into the top 10. Despite not really having that pace. And Tom was coming off a couple pretty bad laps there in the 129s. He needs to recenter himself. Kind of falling through the order right now, having lost a spot now to Zach Martin.
Can you place me higher? I need to learn the words to that song, so I do more of a parody.
Guillermo Taylor working his way through the blue flags here. That is Skylar Castor in the non-Tango Aston Martin. As he moves on through. You know what the big R for the R Motorsport livery on Guillermo's team? It should be Rango. There you go. That's your team name. That should be the team name.
The Lizard movie?
Yes.
Not opposed to this.
Plus, they are just really sponsored by Tango the fruit. Or the dance. Guillermo Martinez under a lot of pressure from William Murray here. Battle for 7th place. As they head towards the corkscrew. And up ahead is a battle between one of the Shadow Project. McLaren's actually, I think that's a lapping scenario. Dave Nelson working his way through the field. I'm correct on that. This is a lapping scenario for somebody as... Oh, it backfires. You had your teammate there to try to go for the block on Murrah, but Murrah gets the job done. And that's going to be 7th place. So we pick up Dave Nelson in the Shadow Project car. Forget what their team name is this season. Let me... Send It Nation. Lovely. Of course, Send It, so Sin Shadow Project. That could be intriguing. Pick up Andrew Burke here as he works his way past, I believe that to be Larry Foster in the Shadow Project McLaren.
Foster, Australian for car racer, right?
I mean, it might be. I mean, there's a number of Fosters who race cars. Craig Foster, Nick Foster, Scott Foster.
Do they go a lot faster than everyone else?
They go a lot faster than everyone else. Andrew Burke has found his way onto the podium, so a decent start to his championship defense. As we pick up David James with Matt Howell in his rear view mirror. And then over to Dave Nelson, who is, I think that's Cole McRae getting lapped behind him. So not really anything going on here. Just the camera deciding it wants to show us Dave Nelson's car, which it's a lovely, it's a lovely car. So that's fine. Has anybody particularly impressed you in today's race, sir?
I mean, your boy's starting from last and going to at least middle of the pack at this point. It's pretty good. It's pretty tasty.
Tom was, although he is dropping now. He's down to 19th place, so.
Well,
but still,
maybe you shouldn't do that.
He got up into the top half of the field, even if he couldn't stay there. Actually, speaking of him, there he is in the green and white Porsche.
That's what I was talking about.
And tracked down by Dave Nelson. It'll be a blue flag scenario. Getting out of the way nicely. I think Dave Nelson's had a really solid day up there in 6th place, doing really good things. Found that McLaren 720. We were thinking about running the McLaren 720 before the season started, and I don't know. I found it a little bit clumsy, particularly around Laguna Seca. So I have a lot of respect for the guys who have brought it out here and are bringing it for the Shadow Project Send It Nation crew.
Well, as the kids say, 720 believes it.
William Murrah has slipped down from 7th place to 9th place. Not sure what has happened there. He's lost out to Seth Cheney as well as Guillermo. Oh, David James. Finding the wall. That's hard contact, and that will drop him through the order. Lost the spot already to Matt Howell. There may be more coming. Matt Higgs, your race leader. Justin Swan, 4th place. GPX Porsche doing really good things today. 1st, 4th, and 12th. This is a pretty dominant display by the factory Porsche crew on their debut.
Well done.
Of course, this team, GPX, a regular of our grids on the weekend with Albert Arjona and Xavi Castaño Muniz. And they have branched out with a team here as well. As that is the Get Speed Mercedes of Seth Cheney under a lot of pressure from William Murrah. And I've been on the let's put it this way, the pressured side of William Murrah, and it is not pleasant. He is an aggressive, intruding force to your calm, and we'll see if Seth Cheney can hang on here. They're both caught behind the blue flag of the Aston Martin of Skylar Caster, who I will hope is going to get out of the way. Oh! Shades of Spa 2000. They almost went both sides of him.
I am in favor of these things.
But Murrah thought better of it on this occasion. Hopefully the camera guy gives us a lot of this fight, because I think it's probably the most entertaining on the field. Although, Zach Martin and Diego Alonso apparently are scrapping it up for 14th place, so hopefully we pop in on there at some point. Murrah going quite off the track there.
Well, maybe they should just pave the whole thing and turn it into a half pipe. And then nobody would ever go off the track unless they really wanted to destroy themselves.
I mean, there is that option.
All those in favor of turning every single racetrack into a half pipe say aye. Good, no one voted against it.
Dominic Turcotte across the line, running in 2nd place still. Got a good lead over Andrew Burke, about 2.5 seconds. Time running down here, probably 2 to 3 laps to go, depending where Matt Higgs is relative to the start-finish line. We don't have a gap on him because he's actually more than a sector ahead of Dominic Turcotte, so we're not even getting the lead. We're not even getting the lead. Dave Nelson is caught up to Jake Northrup, and they've got the leader, Matt Higgs, right behind them. So I think it'll be 2 more laps, because we see where Higgs is relative to the start-finish line. And Higgs was like through. He's got some impatience in that body language as Nelson's trying to find a way past Northrup. Up ahead of them is, I think, probably David James in the Lexus. Skylar Castor looking back at Tom Waz. Skylar's made a couple of mistakes, but you know what? He's surged forward, and he's still getting a decent result for himself here on debut in 18th place. As Jake Keckley looks to work through some lap traffic there in the red Mercedes. Or that? Oh wait, no, that's Trevor Cheney. Never mind, identical livery, but I should have seen that it was a bronze number plate. And indeed, that is Trevor Cheney taking 19th place away from Tom Watts.
So Tom was in 19th place, and now he is not?
He's in 20th now.
That seems miraculous.
Jake Northrup still holding off Dave Nelson there. Not really sure why we're looking at Cole McRae. Could be somebody's getting a meatball flag. I saw the
Japanese.
So the meatball flag is thrown out there when a car is, in the opinion of the track officials, too damaged to continue, and you are supposed to report to the pits in 3 laps. I'm not sure who is getting the meatball flag, but there is somebody getting one. Andreas Lasutis. Kind of a mixed day for Andreas. Mixed in the sense that I feel it really feels like this could have been more for him. He's running in 11th place. That's a very, very respectable position. It's number 2 amongst the bronze category. But he was the dominant bronze driver for most of this race, ran in the top 10 at various points. His teammates are in 1st and 4th, so you know there's a good car under him. And he was well ahead of the likes of Seth Cheney, Michael Maggis, and Dan French. So I'm not sure if I was in his shoes how I would necessarily feel about the whole thing. Whether this has been a good run or this has been a bit of a letdown. I don't know. Trevor Cheney versus Skylar Castor. And Castor closes the door. And will hang on to 9th or 18th place. Nice work. Coming to the line. Checkered flag is out. Matt Higgs is your winner. And Skylar Castor gets to celebrate 18th place.
I'm not really sure whether they used the Czech flag at the end. That's kind of, ultra nationalistic.
Just waiting for the final checkered flags to fly here. A couple cars still running. Justin Swan on Larry Foster, Robert Azumian, Zach Martin, Diego Alonso. A little bit of a slide there for Skylar Castor to celebrate his first finish here in 3D Speed. Good on you. And the last car to finish will be Benjamin Atabien. And I think that is him going through right now. Yep, that was indeed. So there were problems at the end for Guillermo Taylor. I'm not sure what happened. He dropped to 24th place and ended up not finishing the race. Stopped out on track, maybe, I don't know. Or connection issues, more likely, actually. That's what I'm probably going to go with. So, let's have a look at the results here. Matt Higgs, your winner from Dominic Turcotte, Andrew Burke, Justin Swan, Jake Northrup, Dave Nelson, William Murrah, Seth Cheney, your bronze winner. Northrup winning in the silver category. Michael Maggis and Dan French rounding off the silver podium and the top 10. Rounding off the bronze podium, Andreas Lasutis and Diego Alonso. Championship, as this is the first round, obviously following that order. And then GPX Porsche leading the way in the Constructors' Championship, 153 off this race from Send It Nation, who scored 116. 105 for Angry Panda. Dynamics in their debut, 75 points, 4th place for that Porsche team. Very good work. Tech One Racing in 5th place ahead of Emil Fry Racing. That's the 2 Lexus teams. Tango R Motorsports in 7th, followed by Carbrone's the racing team, and then Talksport OTL. Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
Make sure when they give you the vaccine, don't let them shoot it directly in your forehead.
Mm. We'll be heading to Kyle Almy in 2 weeks' time for round 2 of the series. Get ready for that. And also, we got GT4 competition from Laguna Seca coming up this Monday in ACC as well. I haven't been involved in the race room stuff, but let me get a quick rundown of what's going on there. Got to pimp the upcoming events. Of course, the I don't have it updated on tap. Excellent, Michael. You've done a great job. Let me pull up the calendar here. So, as stated, we have the GT4 World Tour on Monday. We have the new AMS2 series on Tuesday with Automobilista 2 coming up. Friday Night Wreckfest, of course, the Group 2 Scirocco series on Saturday in Race Room. And then on ACC, it'll be the ESR Academy round number 8 at Suzuka on May 9th, followed by the Sabine Schmidt Tribute at Nordschleife, round number 2 of that series coming up also on May 9th. So that's the next week of ESR action. Feel free to show up. We got room. And signing out at this point for myself and also my co-commentator, Byron Dirksen.
Peace.